Okay, that's perfect. Let's get right back into it. Perfect. We don't even need to hear the intro. We are live in the Derry Daniel State Farm Studios, and we're right back on Bama Central, BamaCentral.com, the Joe Gaither Show on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon, all that goodness. Yeah. There she goes, telling everybody where it is. Woo! Mason. Wrestling with technology. Oh, sounds better, though. No buzz.
Hey.
No buzz in my ear. Again, everybody let us know if you cannot hear Mason. Let us know if you cannot hear me. Those would be major problems. You guys subscribe to us. We love you so much for doing that. Golly, you're the most patient people in the world.
None of the listeners, too, heard this buzz, this crazy buzz, because like me and you both heard it very clearly. I don't think any of them really heard it because they don't have our headphones on that we're wearing. So they're just hearing us go on about this buzz that's driving us crazy, not knowing what it is. Only, good times.
Good times, great oldies. Okay, I'm going right back to that voicemail because that's where we were, and we're setting that up. Okay, extra cameras, a share. We don't need a share screen. We just need to import that video file right there. Bam. This is
what's going on, guys. Really impressive win last night. I'll tell you right now, and this probably isn't the first time you've heard this, but if we play like we did last night, offensively, shooting the ball, we'll beat any team in the country. I mean, heck, we might even beat the 73-9 win Warriors the way we were shooting the ball last night. I love the article from Nick Kelly that he wrote about, if Alabama plays like this, can they be beaten? If you don't know who Nick Kelly is, give him a follow on Twitter. And while you're at it, might as well give Joe Gaither and Mason Woods a follow too. But I do have one question for you guys. I feel like that Alabama's offense is better suited when Mark Sears plays off the ball. I just want to get y'all's thoughts on that. I'll talk to y'all later. Roll Tide.
I'll talk to y'all later. Roll Tide. We love it. That's exactly how you use the voicemail line. 205-462-7340, extension 800. And we're just going to pretend like this train's already been on the tracks and we're rolling, Mason. All right. Voicemail says Alabama's offense is better when Mark Sears plays off the ball. Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding. We've talked about it on this show. We've kind of danced around it a little bit. Maybe not come outright and said that Mark Sears does not need to be the main ball handler for this team, but I think we've definitely gotten kind of around it. This just kind of goes to continue to further that point. I love Mark, and I think he can be your primary ball handler if you want him to be, but I think this team is better suited if he is asked not to do that role.
I agree with what you just said. He can do it. He can be a college basketball team's primary guard on a Sweet 16 team, on an Elite 18, right? On a team that can be very, very successful.
Sure. It's not taking anything away from his skill set. I still think he's a very skilled point guard.
I mean, 10 assists on Tuesday night. The ball was definitely in his hands. I just think that. Well, really, I think that taking Jaron out of the starting lineup and moving LeBaron back in, what it has done has opened up the spacing. I think that teams maybe weren't as respecting old Jaron Stevenson's shot a bit and clogging up the lane. I think it's opened up the spacing a little bit more. And while LeBaron and Chris have obviously been involved, I think that's the bigger difference is the spacing, the defensive spacing adjustments to having LeBaron on the floor instead of Jaron Stevenson.
No, I agree. You kind of just see the way that defenses have adjusted now, and they are no longer really clogging up the lane. They have been forced to get out on the perimeter a bit. And I think also on the defensive end for Alabama, like Jaron's a fantastic defender. I'm not going to take anything away from him. He's great. But I do think that LeBaron gives you a bit of a unique kind of aspect where he flies around a little bit. He's able to kind of get his hand into passing lanes. He gets a lot of those kind of plays, a lot of those little just quick, nipping at your ankle kind of plays where he's tipping passes. He's tipping the ball to get the ball handler's hands. He gets a lot of those little kind of hustle plays that maybe Jaron isn't there for because he's not guarding the main ball handler at all times. So I think on both ends of the floor, having LeBaron in the lineup really gives you a lot.
Maybe a little bit of blue collar from LeBaron Philon. Oh, man.
I mean, you just see it. It's like every game. I swear, every game at least. He's got one, 2 or 3 possession stretch where it's LeBaron File on layup, go down, get a steal, another layup, and it's just quick. He does it, I swear, almost every night. Now, he makes some boneheaded mistakes. He'll have some bad passes here, and they'll make some bad turnovers. But I think you're taking the potential with this lineup over what you have otherwise.
Oh, certainly. I think that's the adjustment that they made over these week and a half, 2 weeks is going. I think you're going to stick with that going forward. We got to start talking about Tennessee. That's Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Gross. I don't want
Barnes.
I don't want to talk about Tennessee at all. I cannot speak.
Average 8 possessions a game.
Right. I can't speak with an ounce of professionalism when it comes to Tennessee anyways. Right. Just Tennessee University of Tennessee. But then you throw in their just disgusting brand of basketball. Makes me.
But they're 23-5. They're good. They're really good.
Are they?
They're really good.
I mean, they are good. They're definitely good. I mean, that's not debatable.
I'm gonna push back a little bit. I mean, they're a good team, sure. I mean, you've lost all of your hard games. You lost to Florida. You lost to Auburn. You lost to Kentucky. You lost to Kentucky again. You beat Texas A&M. That's a good one.
They're 9-5 in quad 1 games. So come on now, they're not that bad.
I'm not overly impressed with this record for Tennessee.
But our quad 1 wins are Louisville, Baylor, Illinois, Texas, Mississippi State, Florida, Missouri, Oklahoma, and A&M. I don't see no Auburn on that list. I see a loss to Auburn on that list.
I mean, it is a good team. It is a good team. They play a suffocating brand of basketball that is, I mean,
1-1 with Florida.
It's like watching a pot of water boil. It's awful. It is just the most boring thing you can imagine. But they make it work for them. And more often than not, they make it work for them. Now, there's some teams that have exposed them this year. I think Alabama has the opportunity to do that with how they have the ability to get out and run. But it's just going to be about, and this has been the story of our season, not turning the damn ball over. I think if Alabama can limit turnovers, they should have no problem succeeding in this game.
If you need some landscaping done, Derek Daniel knows exactly who to call. Call Derek Daniel at 205-758-3391 for all of your home, life, and auto insurance needs, especially if you're a homeowner and you need landscaping. That's what's happening today at the Derek Daniel office. So we appreciate Derek for having us. Call him at 205-758-3391. I just hate them deeply. And not a
Kai Ziegler, like 40 now. I mean, he's been in college for 12 years.
He's a super senior, just like Mark. So come on, we've got our own. We got to be honest.
I remember him bringing the ball up court when I was in middle school.
This Chaz Lanier fella, that's the shooter. But he's a transfer, right? He transferred in from North Florida. 17 points a game, 18 points a game. So really, it's just going to me, stop the basketball. Stop the basketball. Who's going to step up and stay in front of Zakai Ziegler? And then who's going to hang out, hip to hip with Chaz Lanier?
I think I feel all right about LeBaron's chances of hanging with Zakai Ziegler.
I do too.
I think, he has the same, if not better, top end speed, and he's bigger. So I feel all right.
All right. So let's actually talk about last night a little bit. The SEC officials, you should be ashamed of yourself. You should be absolutely ashamed. Okay. So breaking the fourth wall, we are covering Vanderbilt as part of the Walsh Writing Network right now. Great. No problem. No complaints there. I'm happy to do it. I want to present myself as this is a good thing, right? And it's a good thing that Vanderbilt's playing interesting, meaningful basketball at the moment. Great. All right. We're putting them on. They have been ahead in almost every single game since we've picked them up. They've only closed a couple of those games. Now, last night they closed again. I'm sitting there at 9 minutes left, and I'm opening up my document. 9 minutes left. Vanderbilt holds on. Vanderbilt scraps a gritty win. Vanderbilt guts out win. Getting that going. I could have waited until there was a minute left in that game to start my article. And I'm not a great writer. I'm an above average writer, right? I can bang one out in pretty decent time, but like others are a lot faster. I'll be honest. I'll read this morning. The last 2.5 minutes, Mason, took 38 real-time minutes.
This is unfathomable. I did not watch the game, obviously, and I am really genuinely having a very difficult time even coming up with a concept in my head of how this could have happened.
Well, it's Buzz Williams fouling
at
every turn. I mean, he starts fouling with 2 minutes or so left, and they're down 6. He's not. He's like, I'm going to stretch this bad boy out as far as I can. So, like, of course, they were fouling. So, sending Vanderbilt to the line, you can't do anything about that. But you've got inbounds, out of bounds reviews over and over. You got flagrant foul. Did he really hit him in the face that hard or not? Over and over. You've got of course, you give Byington credit. Byington's calling timeouts, making sure his team gets set for that last. I mean, they're trying to get a great road win.
Sure.
But it was just the officials seemed to exude that they were getting paid by the hour. They were trying to keep us there. And that to say, I saw another clip on the Twitter machine. SEC officials don't know how to adjudicate this game anymore with the athletes in the SEC. They're so good. They're so much better than they have been in the last handful of years. The SEC official just defaults to giving the advantage to the bigger team.
I don't know about that. I'm not really buying that one. I don't think. Maybe, I mean, I might lend some credence to the notion that, due to the increased level of play just in the league as a whole, these referees maybe aren't the same level as NBA caliber referees, so they are struggling to keep up with the game a little bit now that it's moving even faster at a breakneck speed. Maybe I'll give you that. I don't think I'm going to lend any credence to the notion that they are just being lazy and saying, you got the better logo. Yeah, sure, whatever you get to call.
Jeni Broom, Chaney Johnson, Dylan Cardwell. There's some big jokers now.
Sure.
You don't think that they're just getting the benefit of the doubt because there's some big jokers?
No, I don't.
Okay.
No, unfortunately, I don't think we all want it to be some big grand conspiracy, but it never is.
Yeah,
never
you're
is.
Right. All right.
I will.
Go ahead.
I learned this week, and maybe everyone knows this, and I'm just late to the party here. But I did not know that. Everyone always talks about towards the end of the year in college basketball, and this is kind of right in line. Like officiating starts to tighten up a little bit, especially around tournament time. And games start to get dragged out longer and longer and longer. Did you know that officials, they're also basically on a test each round to see if they get picked to officiate games in the next round?
Yeah.
I did not know this. So it makes perfect sense why these games, they're just trying to be perfect out there. So every little nitpicky thing they're going to call and be like, oh, that's a foul, because they don't want to get back to the review board and have whoever say, oh, you missed a foul here at 13:25. You're not getting picked for the Elite Eight, buddy. Go home. So I get it. It makes a little more sense. Now, this is a regular season game, mind you. So this one, that doesn't really apply here as much. But maybe, this has something to do with the selection process for the SEC tournament. Who knows? I don't know. That was I had no idea that was the process for that. I just kind of assumed that was a thing that gets ironed out well in advance.
I'm gonna go beat up that leaf blower. I'm gonna beat him up.
Loud. It is quite loud.
I'm gonna. Hey, buddy, I'm gonna beat you up.
I think I don't think as a society we really need leaf blowers. They're kind of just unnecessary noise. Use a rake, get a push broom. You take the extra 15 minutes. You ain't got to wake everybody else up.
There we go. Perfect. Oh no,
I hate a leaf
I thought he was done.
Especially the backpack ones, and I see our friend wearing one out there.
Oh yeah, and so
it's his job, not any fault, not his fault.
All right, I'm not actually going to go fight you. You're doing your job. A+. Well done.
But I wish that this was not your job. Maybe we should invite him in to join the show.
Let's move to
hey,
Blake.
you're already on anyway. Come on in.
Well, let's move to Blake Lavelle. He tweets out an updated bracket last night, updated SEC tournament bracket. Because we got to go first things first. Everybody, we're talking about NCAA tournament, Final Four, national championship. No. First things first. The gang goes to Nashville.
Who cares?
What? Who cares? I care.
I want a Final Four.
I want more moments of Nate Oates. Get the bleep out of here, LSU. Like, come on, give me.
That was cool. Did that team win a national title?
In my heart, they did,
but they did not.
They won a national
in the record books.
They went to the Sweet 16.
I would not be upset.
That team got beat by Destiny. UCLA, the team of Destiny beat that team.
Sure. Tiger, I still think about Tiger Campbell. Still have nightmares. Jaime Jaquez. Oh.
That's the guy who went to the Heat, right? Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know. I still am
Miami Heat.
Stuck in my head of this, like, storyline of I don't know that I necessarily trust the team that won their conference tournament going into the NCAA tournament because, like, they have none. They don't have that motivation. I need a team scorned. I need a team that lost a game they didn't want to lose. I need an Alabama that loses in the semifinal here to, say, Florida or Texas A&M, and then they're pissed off going into the NCAA tournament.
Why do they need the loss, Mason? Why can't they just be motivated?
We've seen this team all season.
Come on.
We know that they do not just get motivated. They need losses to motivate them. We've seen them bounce back from losses all year.
Do they need me to just get in the locker room and tell them, "Oh, you guys are soft"?
You know what they need? They need one of those Rick Pitino speeches that went viral a couple weeks ago. You see that? That was so corny.
Oh yes, he gets in there and where's your toughness? Where's your mental? Are you just
like
gonna
a
quit?
scene from a Disney movie?
Are you just gonna lay down and quit? Are you just? Where's your tough?
Hey, coach, can we write some plays? Figure out some sets for the second half? No, he's just you're like children. You don't know what to do when adversity hits you. It was so corny. The resurgence of Rick Pitino has been a strange thing to witness.
That whole attitude that's been prevalent in the 55 to 90 age range forever. As soon as you hit 55, these young kids always quitting in university. You're down at halftime. You must be a bum, Billy. You're losing by 15. You must be a quitter. No heart, no soul. It's like, buddy, it's just a game. Maybe the other team's really good. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, that was that was funny. That's what they need. That's what this team needs. Need Nate Oates to hire him a script writer and get in there. Pull out his notebook. Now, boys, give him the like what is the miracle speech that Kurt Russell gives?
Did we just squeeze Nick Saban? We say, hey, brother, I know that salary that you're getting paid as like ambassador to the university. We're gonna need to cash in on about 5 speeches.
We gotta bring some alums back. We gotta bring Herb Jones back. We gotta bring Petty back.
Well, they didn't win nothing.
No, but they can hype the boys up.
That's true.
They got the closest to winning anything. Damn it.
That's true too. We want to get our money's worth from Nick Saban. 5, 6. How many is this? We're gonna need 64, 32, 16, 8, 4. So that's 6. But hey, I'm not satisfied. I want 7, 8. I want 7, 8, 9, 10. I need 10 Nick Saban speeches before games. Can we bake that?
Can we make that happen?
Yeah, come on, coach. Alabama currently sitting as the 2nd seed in the SEC. And Mason, just based on the bracket right here, and obviously the bracket's ever floating. 3 more games left. I think this 2 seed line is your best pod.
I like this. This is a favorable draw.
I mean, everybody just defaults by, of course, I want to be the 1 seed. Give me the 1 seed, blah, blah, blah. Do you really want the 1 seed if you're playing the winner of South Carolina, Mississippi State, and Kentucky?
No, thank you.
Most likely you're playing Kentucky in that quarterfinal.
But if you're playing Mississippi State, boy, that's going to be
both those games.
Hyped up Mississippi State team.
Yeah, I think both of those matchups, if you were to draw Mississippi State or Kentucky, you're thinking, well, we got a tough one on our hands tonight, boys.
Look, I know South Carolina hasn't done anything this year,
They
but I
stink.
still think they're a little scrappy. And, you
They
get that
are.
aspect of the 116 there. If you're that one seed, and you never know, that could really derail a season.
Well, I mean, South Carolina, this is their only path into the into the NCAA
They
tournament.
got something to play for.
So I don't like this one line.
No, I would not
with
want
those
that either.
three. All right, Tennessee. Tennessee's on the 4 line.
I would feel fine with that one.
I'd look at the. Do you want to play the winner of Missouri, Georgia, Texas? Because you're playing Missouri in that quarterfinal.
I'd be okay. I don't want to play them.
I
still would probably rather play,
I'd rather not play
the
either
other
of
two.
those two.
Yeah. But I mean, Texas and Georgia aren't as much of a concern. I think it's just.
No, they stink.
Yeah, Missouri would probably be the clear winner there. And I guess you don't really want to play Missouri again.
Dennis Gates.
I don't know. If you're Alabama, you might, maybe you want your lick back,
I just think Dennis Gates is a great coach. And I don't think that Missouri is afraid of anyone.
It doesn't seem like they are. They sure took it to the Tide.
You're on the 3 line with Florida, and they've got. I kind of like this as well, at least specific to Alabama. Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Texas A&M are the 3 kind of in their little pod. As it relates to Alabama, I mean, I don't have any real respect for Texas A&M, Oklahoma, or Arkansas. I think that this line is pretty favorable, especially in terms of like how they match up with the Crimson Tide.
Mm-hmm.
After watching A&M last night, they're one of the most aesthetically unpleasing teams. They're right behind Tennessee to me.
They play a very similar brand of basketball to me.
Oh
just
my gosh,
suffocating, slow you down. We're gonna play like it's 1976 again.
Drives me nuts. Like
that's what the basketball looked like before Magic Johnson happened. Like
there's this guy named Larry Bird, and they came in revolution.
Got chest passes.
Buzz Williams is calling the game like Bob Cousy's like his point guard. You got Wade Taylor's a real player, except Wade Taylor, golly, Wade Taylor, one of the most inefficient players. Everybody gives him a lot. I mean, and he should. He's a great. He embarrassed me, but he's a great player. But I think if I were Buzz Williams' coach, I'd have him shoot about 40% less.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, Alabama currently on the 2 line. Right, on the 2 line, you're getting the winners of LSU Vanderbilt, and they're taking on Ole Miss, and then so there you go. I love this as far as motivational factor. You're probably playing Ole Miss in the quarterfinals. They came into your house to get you. You haven't been able to get them back. I think that the matchup as far as on the court is favorable to Alabama. Ole Miss should not have been on the floor with you.
What was the 20 turnovers? 18?
Yeah, 22, 21, 20. They shot like 25 more shots than Alabama did.
That was just a really bad night for the Crimson Tide.
We like this also there at the 6 p.m. slot. What's that, the Friday? Yeah, 6 o'clock Friday start. Yeah, perfect, Coach. Thank you so much, Greg Sankey, on SEC Network. But I ultimately like this half of the bracket because we'll find out how you match up with Florida, but I don't know that I have enough respect for Florida.
I mean, with this path that we're looking at, Alabama does not play its hardest game until the final. So, you don't play your hardest team until you get to the final. Like you're not having to beat a 1 seed on your way to the final or anything like that. You kind of
Florida might be a 1 seed.
Yeah, maybe.
Might be.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
Might be. Still, pretty favorable path for Alabama here, I think.
All right, let me play this voicemail one more time. We'll tell everybody about Derek Daniel and State Farm, and then we'll transition topics.
What's going on, guys? Really impressive win last night. I'll tell you right now, and it's probably the first time you've heard this, but if we play like we did last night, offensively, shooting the ball, we'll beat any team in the country. I mean, heck, we might even beat the 73-9 win Warriors the way we were shooting the ball last night. I love the article from Nick Kelly that he wrote about, if Alabama plays like this, can they be beaten? If you don't know who Nick Kelly is, give him a follow on Twitter. And while you're at it, might as well give Joe Gaither and Mason Woods a follow too. I do have one question for you guys. I feel like that Alabama's offense is better suited when Mark Sears plays off the ball. I just want to get y'all's thoughts on that. I'll talk to y'all later. Roll Tide.
We're live in the Derek Daniel State Farm Studios. You can call Derek at 205-758-3391 for all of your insurance needs. Like a good neighbor, Derek Daniel is there. Call and see how much Derek can save you today. He's got the landscaping done. I think the property looks great. I can't wait to step outside and see it. Call Derek. Come by and see the property just off of McFarland Boulevard. We're past the Tiger Rock and Rustic Rehab on the left. Very, very accessible to anyone in Tuscaloosa in the Northport area. You need a local agent. A local agent gets your issues, your inevitable issues, fixed quicker because they know the right person to call. They know where to send you, and they actually know the people in town. They're not calling 800 numbers trying to track people down. Call Derek Daniel. He's going to be your advocate. You need a great advocate. Derek Daniel is that. 205-758-3391. Like a good neighbor, Derek Daniel is there. Call and see how much Derek can save you today. All right, and that's our time on the voicemail line. We want to encourage you guys, 205-462-7340, extension 800. If you want to leave us a voicemail, we'll react to it on the show.
We'll talk about anything.
Yeah, whatever you got. I got a buddy who keeps teasing me that he's going to call and leave us a political voicemail. We'll take that as well and laugh at that as well. Whatever you want to call. You want to talk about the Green Bay Packers being awful or something else on your mind?
I mean, even our friend Hunter there mentioned, 73-9 Warriors. That always gets me just reminiscing because, I hated them at the time. Obviously, everybody hates the dynasty teams, But I went down a rabbit hole the other day watching highlights from that team, and I mean that. I know we all point to that as like the destruction of modern basketball as we know it, but they were it was so much fun to watch. They were just electric. Klay Thompson, the almost 40-point third quarter, good times. Fun, nostalgic times for sports fans right there.
For somebody who
Splash Bros.
Yeah, they played the most efficient basketball
it was
ever.
Crazy.
Oh, I love
it.
It.
So good.
Would you like to see?
And then they got Kevin Durant.
Would you like to see the way this game was really designed to be played?
It was beautiful. It really was a beautiful thing. Anyone that hated them then, go back now that we're so far removed from them, and just watch the highlights because I guarantee you'll have a good time.
All right, so we looked at the SEC tournament, but Joe Lenardi put out his latest bracketology, and I don't think this is his prediction. This is somebody at CBB on top. CBB on top is the little moniker on the graphic. Bracketology, the actual brackets from Joe Lenardi, and of course, Alabama is a 1 seed. Your 4 1 seeds are Florida, Alabama, Auburn, and Duke. 2 seed in your region, Mason, makes me suicidal. Houston, I mean, could we please get away from playing Houston?
I would love to not have to play Houston.
I mean, real quick, Mason, do the Roll Tide Alabama Houston career history. They've played 6 times in the last 7 years, right? I mean, they played here. You played at Houston. You played at the Players Era Festival, didn't you? You have played Houston almost everywhere in the country.
All right, you've played 7 times total. You're 4-3 overall.
Is it just 4 in 4 years, and I'm just being recency biased?
It looks like it's 3 since we played December 2022 or 2021, December 2022, and then November of 2024.
All right, so it's just recency bias for me.
Why does it feel like so many more than that?
Because it's a pain in the neck to play them. It is like going to the dentist and getting a root canal with nothing. I hate playing them. I hate playing them more than Tennessee.
They are
just because I think they're more skilled than Tennessee.
They're very good, and it kind of feels like, feels like Nate Oates maybe has Kelvin Sampson's number.
Yes, for sure.
But
that math is going to math at some point.
The dam will break and they will get that win. And God, I just don't want that to come in the tournament.
Yeah. You get that math be mathing in the final 4. What is that? That'd be the Elite 8 in this round right here. You break my heart after. And of course, you ask Kelvin Sampson, he'll say, "Yeah, I'll trade all 3 of these losses for an Elite 8 win over Alabama." Of course, they do.
Yeah.
You think about they had the dude with the trash can knocking the trash can over, and the dude who picked it up, and great on you.
I mean, this has been a heated non-conference rivalry.
Yeah, Alabama was down. I remember. You remember our buddy Aiden Dollins? Alabama was down 15 or 20 at Houston. He's at my house, and he's just, the game's over. I said, not quite yet, not quite yet, not quite yet. And Alabama dug back in and won. My gosh. I don't want to play, like, okay, anybody but Houston in our bracket. You can give me any of these other 2 seeds. We'll take Iowa State. We'll take, who's the other? Michigan State. And I guess Tennessee. They're probably not going to put Tennessee a 1 and a 2 in the same bracket from the same conference.
I do love that in this bracket, Alabama gets to beat St. John's.
St. John's, like this little pod is interesting to me just on a personal level. You've got UTC, go Mocs, Chattanooga.
Hey.
You've got Houston and San Diego State. And the Johnnies.
See, Wisconsin in there too. Wisconsin's not pretty good this year.
Oh yeah, right there. Okay. Yes. This would
not be an easy path for Alabama to escape.
Well, the real reason I sent it to you, Mason.
What would this do to the state of Alabama?
The Final Four on this is 1 seed Auburn, 4 seed Michigan, 1 seed Alabama, and 5 seed Clemson.
No, this is not a college football playoff bracket.
Exactly. Your semifinal, Alabama, and Michigan, and then it'd be Clemson and Auburn out there in San Antonio. Mason, I think that the death rate in Texas that weekend, I'm sorry, I hate to be this way. I really hate to be this way. People go, oh, Joe, that's so crude to say. So be like
the top reply on this bracket is our friend Hunter Brantley. The world might end.
Yes,
he's exactly right. Now, would we see, Alabama fans, Auburn fans fighting in the streets,
yes,
rioting through the roads, busting up buildings, throwing trash cans through windows,
the boardwalk
or would it just be a swath of depressed fans from whatever team lost flooding the streets?
No, the boardwalk would become a battleground. And here's
Gumps versus Barners,
where my brain is going. How would you compare the average Alabama basketball fan to the average Alabama football fan? And I know people say they're the same people. No, they're not.
No, they're not.
Am I out of bounds? Am I out of bounds with my assumption being that the average Alabama basketball fan is a little crazier?
Yeah, I think so.
And look, I'm speaking from experience. I'm more likely to kick the couch at an Alabama basketball game than a football game. I just am. Most likely because I haven't been on a couch for a football game in a while. Sure. But I'm losing my brain week in and week out over Alabama, and I am more emotional. I know I am. So
I think the top end of both sides, like the basketball top end, is way crazier than the football top end.
Exactly. And I think the same can be said. for the Auburn crew. And I'm not trying to speak for them. I don't know that side as well. And I'm not really trying to ruffle anybody's feathers here. The point I'm trying to make is you've got 2 fan bases that are both desperate to see their team win a national championship that also despise the other group. Mm-hmm. Your emotions are going to be running so high. Look, when I went to Phoenix last year, you guys, if you watch this, I'm emotional anyways. I was on tilt most of the weekend because, okay, Joe, this is overwhelming. This is really, a pageantry at an all-time high. And I think it ended up real bad. So you're going to have a fight on the boardwalk. Somebody's going to end up in a bad way, especially that Friday night. Oh my Lord. The Friday night where both
Drinks get
Alabama,
flowing.
where both Alabama and Auburn win, or both Alabama and Auburn. That's San Antonio's best case scenario. I'm sorry, but San Antonio's best case scenario is to have Auburn and Alabama lose on the same night, back to back, so that whoever loses first deals with an hour's worth of the other fan base going, yeah, you stink, you lost. And then that fan base loses also, and it's, we're all losers together. If one fan base wins and the other, oh my goodness, if one wins and the other loses, it is like,
I can't wait to, I see the headlines now. Massive brawl breaks out at San Antonio pub or establishment, and it's local man Jim Wilkes from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, took on a group of Auburn fans after.
I didn't get out to Spokane last year.
Oh man,
I didn't make that part of the trip, but both Alabama and Auburn fans were out there, and it was a whole deal of, what was it with we chartered a flight from Birmingham because it was something about Auburn fans chartering a flight or something. I don't really remember, but they made it a whole big deal about, we're going to be in Spokane longer than you, yada, yada. And then they lose to Yale. I see an Auburn fan comment on this. I would rather lose to Yale again than this scenario right here has Alabama winning the national championship over Auburn in the title game. And of course, that is fever dream.
I didn't even notice. This bracket does have Duke losing in the first round.
Well,
Marist College.
Now that's an unusual, but most of this bracket is pretty.
Looking through, I've not seen many other games where I'm not, buying the outcome that this guy has selected.
They're not wild choices here.
He does have the Crab Five losing in the first round, which is tough. Maryland, they got a good team. Also, just an electric nickname. I don't know if you've seen the Crab Five. That's what they're calling their starting five. It's great.
I don't think I want this. I'd rather lose to Houston in the Elite Eight than go to the Final Four and lose to Auburn.
Well, no, we win on this bracket.
I know. I know. But the opposite is just as likely. You get Janai Broome down there in the low block,
Janai Broome ain't seen Aiden Sherrill. Late season Aiden Sherrill.
I don't know Janai Broome, how he would do shooting in a stadium.
That too. I mean, honestly, how is Alabama going to do shooting in a stadium? That's a question we'll have to find out as well.
Oh my Lord. What's that ticket like? An Alabama Auburn Monday night national championship in San Antonio? Oh, I mean, you saw what it was here in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, I mean,
it was a stupid number for that.
You're probably getting in the door for over $1,000.
Oh my God. The NCAA,
just salivating at this,
right? And let me tell you, San Antonio businesses, you guys are. Oh, we could. You don't want.
You do not want this problem.
The Final Four is going to bring enough revenue for you, anyways. With any random four teams, you don't want the headache. It's going to be way more of a problem, because who was the other issue? Now, I don't know. I'm not a professional flyer, but when we were in Arizona, Alabama lost the Friday game, and we thought, okay, we're going to try to get a Saturday or Sunday flight back. We're going to try to get out of here. We couldn't. The flights just didn't work out, and worked out for me. I got to watch the national championship game. But put that scenario forward. Alabama fan sees their team lose on Friday night, is stuck in San Antonio with Auburn fans all weekend long, and Auburn won. Or vice versa. Auburn fan loses Friday night, he's stuck in San Antonio. Now, of course, you can get a rental car and just drive on back. Sure. But stuck in San Antonio while Alabama wins and celebrates first national champ. That is a recipe for real problems.
For any poor airport employee also that would maybe have to deal with a scorned Alabama or Auburn fan trying to schedule that return flight.
Oh my God.
And being told that they're going to have to wait till Monday. Oh man. Shout out to our customer service people, because they will be going through hell if that happens.
That's almost a scenario I don't want to see. It is so volatile. That sounds so volatile to my. what happens to the narratives? You go Alabama 0-2 in the regular season, then you get back 1 or 2, whether it be in Nashville or in San Antonio. I mean, can you imagine?
This is what we have to root for.
No, I'll take it in Nashville. It's fine. Everybody can drive on home. Everybody everybody can wreck each other driving back. What is that? At 65, right? Everybody can wreck each other coming down 20.
Boo. Take it to Texas. Take it to the big stage.
This ain't hold. Oh, like that is.
That would be. When I was a kid, I remember I would do bracketology, do the little brackets, March Madness all the time, and I always was a pretty casual college basketball fan. I knew the good teams who were good, and outside of that, it was like 5 through 12. Who are these guys? And I would basically just always find myself picking North Carolina and Duke as the final 2 teams, then sit there kind of thinking, well, there's no possible chance this could happen because there's no way that you'll just get 2 rivalry teams at the end. But there's a chance. I mean, looking at this bracket, we did talk about the strange first round upset for Duke, but otherwise, that's really the only game that I've seen, and I haven't dug into it and studied it, but it seemed plausible.
Oh no, it's not a wild bracket. It's
there's not a lot of insane upsets or anything up on here.
Right, Auburn's path is beating one of these 16 teams. SU, I can't see the. I can't really tell the logo right there. Then they're beating Gonzaga in the second round, number 9 seed Gonzaga, and then that is Drake, right?
Is it Drake or Duquesne?
Okay, one of those two. I can't tell either. 12 seed Drake or Duquesne in the next round, and then they've got 7 seed Memphis in the Elite 8. I mean, if you're Auburn, that's a cakey draw.
Feeling pretty good about that.
That's a cake.
Feeling pretty good.
Yeah, and then they've got Clemson obviously in that elite game. Final 4 game, according to this bracket. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, Bama, you got to take.
Would you risk a loss to Auburn in a national title game? Like, are your emotions stable enough to put that on the line? You are going to win your school's first national title, or you're going to lose to Auburn, giving them their first national title.
That would be.
The stakes are.
Couldn't be higher. Quite literally.
Brutal.
The storylines. Oh, man.
All right, let's finish up here with Pete Nakos. We teased it yesterday. We didn't get to it just because of timing. Pete Nakos, Caitlin DeBoer. Pete Nakos is reporting yesterday for On3 Sports. We've talked a decent amount about the spring game.
Yes, we have.
Were we ahead of the curve here? Let's Caitlin DeBoer. Coach, if you're watching the show, you can call in. 205-742. I got Derek's number and my number mixed up. 205-462-7340, extension 800. Coach DeBoer, if you want to call and let us know what you're doing with the spring game.
Call and tell us thank you for the idea.
Thank you. I'll take no commission, but I'd like to call about 3 plays in the spring game.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That's all. There's 3. Give me what would we call? What I want to see, I want to call some form of power of power run.
I'd like to hand the ball off to Rock Montgomery at least once.
I want to see some power run with AK Deer. I want to see that young man. That's the one play I'm calling. I don't know what Bubba Hampton's injury or what Bubba Hampton's health status is, but I'm putting Cole Adams or Bubba Hampton in at Wildcat quarterback, and I want to see a little Wildcat action with Ryan Williams going across their face. And one of the running backs kind of running off a triple option set. That'd be my other call. Number three call. What are we doing here, Joe? We are.
Give me a double pass. I want to see Austin Mack moss somebody.
I was going to say I like that, but I was going to say nice 9-man protection, 2-man route. Let Austin Mack just bomb it, baby, to somebody. Oh, so no spring game is what it sounds like. And that's not official.
Sounds like.
But Pete Nakos is told by Caitlin DeBoer, Coach, you can always call us at 205-462-7340, extension 800. He says, Kalen DeBoer says, a lot of times here, the 8A game, it's been more of a practice, and there's been some scrimmage, not necessarily much of a game. Even when I was at Fresno State, we called it the spring preview. Especially this year, there's some things we're working through with injuries and so forth, so it'll have to be modified to try to have, we want to try to have some type of event April 12th. He continues on. I understand why some programs are doing things that they're doing. We certainly understand the impact that putting things out there for the whole world to see what that can do, especially related to the transfer portal, whether it's guys in or guys out. I get all of that, and I know there's different reasons for different programs.
I think if they were having a spring game, he would have said, "We're having a spring game."
Yeah. He said, there will be some type of event April 12th. Whether it be a meet and greet, come meet the fans.
I mean, yeah. Do you think we'll see any football?
There will be footballs in the stadium.
Sure.
The footballs will be in the air at some point.
Do you think that we will see 11 men line up in a formation and run a football play at any point throughout the spring event?
Maybe with a Make-A-Wish person in the backfield. Now, I'm not trying to be funny,
no,
but
I don't think we're getting anything. I think we're getting nothing. And we've talked about it, like the transfer portal.
I'm going to change my opinion a little bit.
I think
go first.
I've heard some things that maybe made me think otherwise a little bit, because we talked about it originally as, we get it from the perspective of like you're trying to protect from your players being poached and things, but it could go maybe the other way where you're trying to protect yourself from having to spend more money in the transfer portal because everyone knows how good your players are. And that's not a terrible spot to be, I guess, but it's just the nature of the beast. It's just where we are in college football.
If you're really worried about your fourth string wide receiver getting poached, you're a loser. Go to your fourth string wide receiver. Hey, Billy. Hey, I know Charlie, Johnny, and Brian are in our first, second, third string, but Charlie, he's a little baby. He's rolled his ankle 5 times in 2 years. You're going to get playing time. Like, whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Like, re-recruit your roster. Hey, Billy, I know you're fourth string, and Western Tech Carolina is calling you. What's the number they're giving you? Oh, 300,000. Well, I don't know if you're going to be getting that here. I don't know if we can afford that, or I don't know if you're going to be getting the opportunities to make that $300K worth it here. So what do? You let Billy go. You do the right thing for the player.
Sure.
Wild.
Crazy concept.
Wild, really. And even if your perspective is, your perspective is the right thing is for you to stay, Billy, not make as much money and grit it out for your character. This is character development. Okay, that's fine. But like, if Billy decides that his best thing, and mom and daddy says his best thing is to hit the portal and go take his $300K to transfer to Western Carolina Tech, great. Don't bitch about it. That's the game.
Yeah,
that's the game. And the other part that drives me freaking nuts is I know someone on your staff is tampering.
Sure,
I know it. And
it
so
reminds me of like when, the old days when we had coaches blocking transfers and you can't go there because I say so. And that was always so disgusting to me.
Coach Saban did it to some.
He did. I hated it when he did it. This reminds me of that, though. It's trying to take back control over whether or not these players are staying or leaving your program. When the control has been given to them, it is in the players' hands now. You can't. Cat's out of the bag. We can't stuff it back in now. Like, the players have the power. You can't just sit here and try to put them down. I guess I understand it because, everybody has to find their tiny little way to get an advantage over someone else. But it's just very, very, you're a loser. No, I think it's a good way to put it. You're being a loser if you're worried about, Billy Jones that hadn't taken a snap in 3 years getting poached by, like you said, Western Carolina Tech or whatever. Let the kid go be great somewhere.
Or put him on the field.
Or that, yeah.
If he's that good and you're worried about it getting put him on the daggum field. Yeah. And adjust. One of my biggest Nick Saban complaints, and there aren't many, but one of my biggest ones was, we have 12 wide receivers and 4 of them are playing. We have 12 wide receivers and 3 of them play. We have 18 running backs and 3 of them get carries. Like, baby, open the
open it up a little bit.
Yeah. And not everybody needs to touch the ball, but throw them out on the field and make them
Just
feel
give 'em a
involved.
taste. Yeah, that's all you need.
And I understand. Coach used to do, okay, you got to earn the trust, earn the playing time. I get that. But now, and obviously, Coach has retired because things have changed. But things have changed.
Yes.
Like, things have changed. If you're that worried about it, put them on the field.
Yep.
Go find Billy a raise in your NIL department, whatever the case may be, or let him go.
Yep. Don't just hoard him.
Drives me nuts.
I think that's a lot of it. They just want to hoard as much talent as they can. But
The old Coach Bryant rule: we're going to give 100 scholarships out, and that way.
Yep. I think that's kind of what it is. It's that attitude, which again, I get it. I understand why coaches think that way. I just wish that was not the game we all had to play, or they all had to play.
Julie and Joe Gaither, no hair, roll tide. Woke up this morning, all the hair ended up on the pillow.
That's tough.
Yeah, it doesn't happen.
It'll grow back in a couple of days, though.
Doesn't happen
like
often.
Play-Doh thing,
From time to time, you'll wake up and all the hair ends up on the pillow. Like, oh no, today's the day.
Mm-hmm. You're just molting.
So
what are we going to see? I mean, meet and greet. You think little autograph signing? Maybe,
I bet you it's going to be
DJ in the stadium playing some music. Maybe Kalen DeBoer gets up and talks in front of everybody.
Are we going to? I predict that we split the teams up 3 to probably 4 to 6 different ways, probably 4 ways, and we're playing flag football. That's my prediction.
I think that's a good thing to do.
You got all the quarterbacks. I mean, Team Russell, Team Mack, Team Simpson, Team Walk-On, whoever.
Sorry, buddy. You can have Ryan Williams.
Yeah, we'll make it up for you that way.
I think that would be an awesome thing to do. Like, I understand that, it's breaking tradition to not see guys hitting each other in the spring game. But, Kalen DeBoer said it in that quote right there. Like, it's always just kind of been a practice anyway.
Well, I think that's what people haven't. I think there's a very clear distinction. If you understand what's going on, that this is just practice, or do you think, oh man, guys are winning the job, losing jobs?
Yeah.
Neither of those things happen. The winning and losing of jobs happened on the 14 practices before.
Yes.
This day.
So, it's always been performative. It's always been, kind of just a thing for the fans to see and have a little fun. So this is just this is the same thing, just something for the fans to see and have a little fun.
I got to say, last year though, Mason, I was in my old man yells at clouds feels when Kalen DeBoer talked about crimson versus white, offense versus defense, point system for the defense.
It was a little confusing.
That's just a personal complaint, Coach. So who cares what I had to say? But don't do that again. Whatever we do, we don't need to. Let's just not gunk it up. Right. I don't want
to learn the scoring system.
Right. 4 points for a sack, 3 points for an interception.
Like, it's a cool concept, and I think it would be cool, if for like a high school all-star game, if we did an offense versus defense thing, that'd be kind of neat. Maybe defense, interception gets you points. Maybe sure.
Just put them on the field, play actual football.
Let's just play, if you're going to go out there.
Yeah, split the teams up however you want to. I don't care. You can make it 1s versus 4s, whatever you want to do. But I just, maybe that's my old, I hate,
Can we get like,
Miami did it a couple years ago. I hate it so much.
Can we get just like a mascot game where like Big Al's stiff arming a bunch of children? That would be good.
You got to get the county high middle school team out there.
There we go. Oh, that would be great.
Take all the middle schools, County High, Brookwood, Hillcrest, everybody bands together.
Yeah, you put like 33 kids on the field against 11 Alabama players and just kind of let them all have fun with each other. That'd be fun to watch. That'd be good for the community. A little flag football with a bunch of kids. 33 versus 11.
Have you looked at any of this combine stuff? I haven't looked at it.
No, I have not.
I don't care about it.
No, I saw that Abdul Carter needed surgery.
Oh yeah.
I checked out because honestly, I think it works out pretty well for the Titans. You have more incentive to trade back now. And
the Giants
you can maybe get Abdul Carter if you trade back.
The Giants want your pick.
Yeah, they can have it.
They want your
Give
pick.
up a haul, but you can have it.
And
I'll take Malik Neighbors.
Right. I don't know if you're going to get that. The Giants want your pick. It's like this. The Titans are in a great spot.
They are in a fantastic spot.
Move down to 4-5, 3-4-5,
and you still get the best defensive player in the draft.
I don't give a rip about I needed a surgery on my foot. Like
he'll be back in 2 months.
Right. We're not drafting him for this year, really.
No.
It is a 12-year project here.
Yeah, man. No, I think that's things have gone well for the Titans this week if they decide to play it the right way.
Tighten up.
And I feel confident that with their new GM, Mike Borgonzi, they will.
Tighten up.
Tighten up.
Todd Campbell talking about meeting with, who did he say? He said the Patriots, the Bucks, and the Seahawks, I think is who he said. I don't have any intrigue because I'm very confident that both Campbell and both Booker are first-round draft picks. I don't have any intrigue because I don't think either of them are top 9 draft picks. Goodness gracious. Bears, will you do one smart thing in your life and take Tyler Booker at 10? Please. One smart thing. Take Tyler Booker at 10.
Ashton Genty.
That's what they're going to do. And I'm going to...
I've been saying it for weeks.
I'm going to lose my mind if that's what they do. That will drive me up the wall.
Where are the Bucks picking?
18,
19?
Yeah.
That's a good fit for Campbell. That's a very good fit for him, I think. Get to sit behind Levante David for a year or two. I like that.
So I'm not really interested that much in the combine, but it is going on. We'll pay attention to it a little bit. Tomorrow, Mason, we will talk about Alabama and Tennessee more. We'll dive into it a little further, a little deeper. Chaz Lanier or Zakai Ziegler. Look, Rick Barnes used to coach under Wim Sanderson. So we'll talk to them. Should we call Rick Barnes? Just cold call him, see what he's up to?
Probably. I think it would go well.
Hey, Coach, you got a game tomorrow. You want to talk about it? Well, you want to talk?
What's the game plan, Coach?
Coach, we want to find out if you're going to play any offense.
Coach, are you scared of what the Alabama Crimson Tide can bring offensively?
Coach, we're just wondering, are you coaching all your players to grab everybody on defense?
Coach, what website did you get Zakai Ziegler's fake birth certificate from so that he can keep playing college basketball?
That's exactly right. Oh, yeah. So we'll talk about that tomorrow. We'll talk about Elimination Chamber as well. Saturday, PLE in Toronto. That'll we'll close that down.
I gotta catch up. I still haven't even watched Raw from this week.
That's okay. You don't need to. They're kind of floating in this. Let's get to Elimination Chamber. The Rock messed up a lot of plans. The Rock's, I'm not going to be in WrestleMania. I am going to be in WrestleMania.
That promo was so weird.
It was awful. It was
I want your soul.
It was awful. It was terrible. I'm sorry.
Very awkward.
Dwayne.
If you lost your touch, if you lost your fastball,
all you got to do, Dwayne, is come out and say, finally, The Rock is back in New Orleans. Like, do the cadence stuff. Can you smell what all you got to do? And the people will lose their brains. You don't need to.
He told that whoever it was in the crowd, I'll smack the syphilis right off your face.
Well, that's the weird part about it is because he's going back and forth between I'm a good guy, everybody loves me, I'm The Rock, to I'm the bad guy, and you know, I hate it.
It was very strange.
Doesn't make any sense. So really, everything that's happened in the last month between the last time you really checked in was Royal Rumble, and that's fine, that's great, has all been, let's get to Elimination Chamber, and then we'll really figure out what's going on with WrestleMania, because The Rock is all non-committal. Rock is in, Rock is out. Here's our plans with him in. Here's our plans with him out.
You know what it is? He's really jealous that Batista's a better actor than him.
That's exactly it. And
he's trying to get these serious acting roles, but they keep falling through or not. He's got one coming up where he plays some fighter or something I saw.
Yeah, but he also got signed. Scorsese signed him to be a villain. To play like some mob boss villain.
Interesting.
Role.
We'll see how that goes for you, The Rock. I see this with Leonardo DiCaprio.
The issue
wow.
with
I don't buy The Rock as a very serious actor. He's played the same character in every movie he's ever been in.
So he did the whole bad guy thing last year in WrestleMania, and it was like, oh, this is awesome. And I think that's kind of, we can use this. Look, stop going to The Rock's movies.
Please.
Stop watching them. Stop downloading them on Redbox.
I promise they're not going to be that good.
Because here's the deal. If you stop watching them, he'll quit Hollywood, and he'll return full-time to wrestling. He'll be committed. You guys won't you won't have to watch him in your movies. and we'll get full-time Rock wrestler.
Yeah,
Everybody wins.
That's what we need.
So stop. Moana 2, don't put it on for your daughter and your son. Sorry. It stinks. It's not a good movie. Here comes
I'll give him
Moana.
credit. Those ones are pretty good.
Man.
That's probably his best work is Moana.
What can you say?
That's a good
It's
song.
just, you're welcome.
Get stuck in your head.
Dun, da, 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 da. Yeah, we got to get that.
I'm never going to see The Rock as being Batista has, like, in my eyes, solidified himself as like a very good, serious actor that I take seriously when he's in roles.
Have you ever watched? Like, John Cena's not a bad actor either.
No, John Cena's not bad.
Have you watched?
He's a really good comedy, like really, really good in comedies.
His Peacemaker is hilarious.
Yeah,
His Peacemaker is the worst person you'd ever know, but he is.
But yeah, man, I don't know. It's just, and it was probably a little bit of typecasting with The Rock, where it's just like, we need a big burly guy to play man that wears tan shirt and fights people, and he got every role in that for 15 years.
What was the one with him? Sean Murphy? That's not it. The guy from American Pie.
The Rundown?
Yes. That was
movie.
a good one.
That was a good one. That was like one of the first Rock movies I remember seeing. That one and Scorpion King. Scorpion King was sick. I loved that movie. I couldn't tell you how many times I watched that when I was a kid. We've gone off the rails here.
That's okay. The people that are listening now love us, so that's fine. If you were listening to us, you can let us know your favorite Rock movie. Yeah, that's what I want to know. Are you? What's the one where he's like the amputee, where he's like going, he's like an amputee, and he's like jumping up a tower or something. He's like,
this one, I think.
He's just ridiculous.
He's been in some interesting. He dipped into the Fast and Furious franchise for a minute.
He stole it. He basically said, "Oh, I'm going to do this better than you, Vin Diesel.
Man.
Who are you?" He said, "I'm." Vin Diesel, just a cheap version of The Rock.
Jumanji was funny. That was a nice little flash in the pan there. That was funny.
I didn't see that one.
It wasn't as good as the Robin Williams one, but it was funny. He was in something. He was in like 2 years ago. He was in literally the same movie twice in 1 year. And it was one of them. He was fighting like a big giant gorilla monster, and it was Rampage or something, I think it was. And then the other one, it was just him fighting a natural disaster, and it was the same film. He had wore the same outfit basically. What
was the Rock movie where he was a thief with Mark Wahlberg?
That was a good one. Pain and Gain.
Yes,
that was another one. One of his few good ones. That movie is so funny.
That movie, the entire time, I am thinking, what the bleep? What is going on?
Very, very underrated movie. If
what
you have not seen
is happening
so
here?
Funny. Absolutely preposterous. What happens in it?
It was to me, that might be my favorite The Rock movie.
That one is really good. I forgot about that.
That movie was insane. So if you're basically The Rock and Mark Wahlberg and somebody else, but they're all bodybuilders.
That again.
They're all bodybuilders. And
Anthony Mackie, Captain America now.
They're all bodybuilders, and it's based on a true story apparently, and they all concoct some robbery plan, some home robbery plan, right? And it's all about how they.
Yeah, they're going to conspire to kill this guy and like take insurance money from him or something, and it goes completely, off the rails. And The Rock's character is just so funny. He's like this like born again Christian at one point, and then but he also is still like torturing this guy. It's very funny. Good movie.
The other Pain and Gain, you know what movie like parallels that? The Rock's not in it, but I think it's like the exact same sort of movie. Have you seen Uncut Gems?
Oh yeah, I love that movie.
Adam Sandler.
That
was another movie. I sat there and watched it the entire 2 hours. I was thinking, what is going on here?
Didn't have the same like comedic hits that Pain and Gain had for me, but definitely that same like the whole time it's on 10. Like there's no moment to breathe in that movie. Like everything, it's just like
Kevin Garnett with the diamond at the very beginning. He was like, "Oh, I need this mother bleeper. I need this. It's my good luck diamond."
That's a good movie.
That was a good.
Adam Sandler, great performance in that movie.
Underrated. People always, he's a funny man.
Fantastic.
He was amazing.
Yeah.
All right, so your favorite Rock movie in the comments.
Been the film hour.
Yeah, absolutely. Your favorite Rock movie in the comments, or your favorite just holy bleep movie. This movie blew my mind. Let us know, or leave us a voicemail, 205-462-7340, extension 800. We'll get out of here for the day. We'll talk a lot more nonsense on the Joe Gaither Show tomorrow right here on Bama Central and BamaCentral.com.